Whew. Hey there guys, just finished doing a little handstand skill work, and I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you guys about shoulder stability. Last time we went over developing big strong shoulders for the handstand push-ups. Today we're going to be going over developing stability in our shoulders so we could go upside down on that wall and be more efficient with our handstand push-ups, which is also going to transfer over to better push-ups, better ring dips, and just stronger in any shoulder overhead movements. So it's going to be super beneficial to do these exercises. The way we're going to take it today, we're going to go from beginner movements to more advanced movements. What up guys? So the first movement we're going to be going over is the plank. I know, super basic, but super important if we want to develop that shoulder stability. There are two ways to do it. There's a simple old plank, and then you could say there's the gymnastic way. So for the purpose of developing that stability in your shoulders, we're going to be doing the plank with our arms extended today. So the first way is just arms locked out, feet together, squeeze your butt, squeeze your abs, and hold. There's a simple way to do the plank, which is okay. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you will get in that plank position. You will let your shoulders go over your wrist, going on your toes at the same time. From here, you would squeeze your glutes, and you would think about sending your hips to your face. And then you would hold this. So you're basically holding a crunch. You're holding the hollow body in a plank. Great way to get stable shoulders and six-pack abs. Good way to implement these into your routine would be 3 sets of anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute hold and 30 seconds to a minute rest in between. So the next movement we're going to be going over is the overhead kettlebell/dumbbell hold and walk. You can use a dumbbell, you can use a kettlebell, you can hold it in place, you can walk with it. Always switch it up. Stay creative with it. What I really want to go over is the form that you want to keep when you're actually doing the movement. So for the overhead hold, if you're holding it in place or walking with it, it doesn't matter, the rules stay the same. You want to focus on keeping those arms close to your head. The last thing you want is one arm or both arms going out to the side and you strain your shoulder because you're trying not to let it fall. So make sure you keep those arms locked out and close to your head. The other thing you want to keep in mind is keep your abs and your glutes engaged. You don't want to be walking around with a broken back. So keep your butt and your abs tight. Doesn't matter if you have 2 kettlebells or 1 kettlebell or a dumbbell. Doesn't matter if you're holding it in place. Doesn't matter if you're walking with it. The rules stay the same. A great way to implement these would be to do, at least for holds, do anywhere from 30 to a minute hold with 30 to a minute rest in between. 3 rounds would be okay. And then for the walking, 3 rounds as well, of anywhere from 50 feet to 200 feet. Now, what I would say is, when you start doing these, start light and slowly build up. The next movement we have is the wall walk. These can be pretty intimidating, at least they were for me when I first started. So what I would recommend is make sure you start with the plank, start with the overhead holds, then make your way over to that wall right there. Make sure that when you do these, you keep your abs, your glutes, your whole freaking core super engaged. So when you're doing a wall walk, you want to make sure that the only thing that makes contact with the wall, if you're going all the way up, your nose and your toes. A lot of people break and they have their hips touching the wall. You don't want that. So for the wall walk, you would start with your feet against the wall, laying down. You would do a push-up. From here, you would walk your feet up the wall and your hands towards the wall at the same time, keeping that core super tight. Bring your nose all the way to the wall, keeping that butt and the abs tight. From here, you walk it back down with control, because the movement is not over till you're laying back down. And that's 1 rep. If you don't feel safe enough or comfortable enough going all the way to the wall, just go halfway. It really doesn't matter. Doing these are gonna make your shoulders burn, which is what we want. The next movement, and a pretty complicated one that we have, is the pike hold and pike walk around the box. These can be pretty challenging. It does require some flexibility. What I would recommend is that you have a partner with you when you do these. For the pike hold, you would get your feet on the box. Make sure your abs and your glutes are engaged as always. From here, you would walk your hands to the box. Once you're upside down, you would hold. Once you feel like you have mastered this, you could do the walk around the box. I would start off walking around to the right. Then I will walk around to the left. Again, that is pretty challenging, even for me, and I'm a pretty fit guy, you know. A good way to implement these would be to do, at least for the pike hold, anywhere from 15 seconds to 45 seconds, just because it really is challenging. And for the pike walk, I would do 2 loops, one to my right and one to my left. Again, really make sure you have a partner with you just to be on the safe side. Time for the granddaddy, the one you guys have been waiting for, the handstand hold. There's 2 ways to get to the handstand hold. You could either do the wall walk, which we went over. If you decide to do that version of it, make sure you keep the same rules we went over. Core engage, the only thing that makes contact with the wall, nose and toes, no hips on that wall. If you kick up to the wall, there's a few things that we want to go over. The first thing is arms locked out. You don't want to have any wiggle in your arms. Your arms are completely locked out. Your core is engaged like always. So those are the 2 main things. The other thing we want to go over is how to kick up to the wall. If you're a righty, you lead with your right foot. If you're a lefty, you lead with your left foot. There's a little over a foot of distance between your feet when you kick up. You want to make sure that when you set up for that kick up to the wall, your arms are already locked out and your glutes and core and your abs are tight. From here, I kick. Please make sure you don't make a hole in the wall. So I'm gentle with it. Once I'm upside down, I keep my glutes and my abs engaged. I push against the ground and I hold. You want to make sure that when you're here, you're looking forward. You don't want to be looking at the ground, and that you breathe. Once you're done, you kick down. Your arms are still locked out, and then you shake it off. So that's the handstand hold. A good way to implement these would be to hold anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute, depending on where you're at. If you don't feel safe with it, start with a wall walk. And if you still don't feel safe with it, have a friend with you. Okay guys, we just went over a few of my favorite exercises to develop shoulder stability. These are movements that I've done over the past 5 years. They've helped me develop my handstand push-ups and my handstand walk. I have great belief in them. Just make sure that if you do this inside the gym, that you go over it with your coach first, no matter if you're doing it before or after class. Just because you never know what we're gonna be doing for that workout that day or the next day. And they might have pointers for you that we didn't cover in the video. So please go over it with your coach first. If you do this before class or outside the gym, make sure that you have a proper shoulder warm-up before you begin. Again, safety is our main priority, okay? One more thing that I wanna go over is please start with the beginner movements and then make your way to the more advanced movements. The last thing you want is to be trying to impress that special friend of yours, wink wink, and to fall on your head. We don't want that. Gymnastics can be pretty damn dangerous, especially with the handstand hold and push-ups. So be safe with it, have fun. We want to get fit, but safety comes first.